Hello, my name is Terry. This is my first live video, so hopefully it's working. We are a couple minutes early, so get some of the stuff out of the way here. Since we're not allowed to play music, I've recorded my own music, so I'll be playing my own music on this video. This is a yoga video. It's suitable for just about anybody. You can have some props. If you want to use a cushion off your sofa or a pillow off your sofa, you can. If you want to use a pillow off your bed, you can. They're all good props. And let me get the camera adjusted here a little bit. Move the camera back. Looks like my head's still cut off. Let me move the camera back a little bit.
This is how you were.
Okay, that's my assistant. How does it look now, dear? Still got hot. Okay. Sorry about losing my head over this, but all right. Props you can get on hand. If you want to roll up or fold up a bath towel, you can do that also. Let's see. We still got a couple minutes. What else do we want to say? I'm going to sit down so you can see my head. All right. My assistant says that's good, so. All right. Hopefully my internet's fast enough to do this. I've tried it before and didn't have too much success, so hopefully this will be a success. Another minute. We'll start in about another minute. Let you get your props together. My name is Terry. I've been teaching at the Y for about 2 years now. I really like it. It's a great bunch of people there to work with. And my regular class is on Tuesdays and Fridays, at least it was before all this madness took over. What else do I do? Okay, it's close enough. We'll begin. I'll start my music here. We'll begin with a centering, and then we'll move on to some warm-ups, and then we'll do some yoga poses, and then we'll do everybody's favorite, the Savasana relaxation posture. So let's begin with our centering. You can come into a comfortable seat, either sitting on your cross-legged like this here, or if you're more comfortable, you can sit on your knees, sitting back over your heels onto a block or a pillow. You close your eyes and start focusing on your breathing. Notice how you're breathing. All right. We'll start deepening your breathing by doing a 3-part yoga breathing, Durga breathing. Where we breathe into the belly, filling up the belly, then breathe into your rib cage, then into your upper chest, And exhale, chest, and rib cage, and finally the belly. Belly button to squeeze out all the last smidges of air to make room for our next breath. I will add some motion to our breathing. We'll bring our hands into prayer position, thumbs pointing towards heart center. We'll inhale our hands overhead, stretching up, reaching for the sky. Then at the top of the breath, we'll turn the palms out, exhaling them back down around, back into prayer position. And we'll continue this breathing at your own pace for a few more breaths. And next time your hands come overhead, we'll turn to the left, exhaling your hands down. Left hand behind, right hand on left knee for easy side twist. On each inhale, lengthen your torso and crown up towards the sky. And on each exhale, try to go a little deeper into the twist. And inhale your hands back overhead, come through center, and we'll turn to the right. Exhaling your hands down. Right hand behind, left hand on right knee. For easy side twist on this side. Again, on each inhale, lengthen, and on each exhale, deepen. Then raise your hands back overhead, inhaling them up. Come to center, and we'll exhale our hands down to the floor. I must introduce my kitty, Haley. She'll be popping in and out of the video. All right. Left hand stays on the floor. Arch your right hand over. Grab gently by your ear and gently pull your head sideways for a neck stretch. She's all right there. Then reach your right hand around, massage your neck and shoulder. And then we'll switch arms. Right hand comes to the floor. Arch your left hand over. Grab gently by your ear and gently pull your head sideways for a neck stretch. Then reach your left hand around, massage your neck and shoulder. All right. Let's see. Let's extend your legs out in front of you. And if you want to sit in your pillow, you can, or you don't need to. Raising your hips up a little bit helps a little bit when you do a forward bend. Have your legs extended out, your toes flexed up towards your knees. Extend your torso, sit tall. Extend your crown up towards the sky. Reach up, reaching up for the sky. And then we'll hinge forward at the hips. And once you're forward, hinge forward, then you can round over for our first forward bend. And you can have your knees bent slightly. And breathe, doing the 3-part yoga breathing. And come back up to sitting. Extend your left leg out at an angle. Bring the sole of your right foot to your inner thigh. Raise your hands overhead. Turn slightly towards your left foot. Your foot is still flexed up towards your toes. Then we'll bend forward, doing a forward bend towards our left foot for head to knee posture. And then come back up. Turn slightly to the right, and we'll do a side bend towards our left foot. Reaching your right hand out towards your left foot. This really stretches the quadratus labor muscle that runs up the side of our back. And then come back up. And we'll switch our legs around. Extend the right leg out at an angle and bring the sole of your left foot to the inner thigh. Hands overhead again, stretching up. And we'll hinge forward towards our right foot for head to knee posture on this side. And then come back up to sitting and turn slightly to the left. And we'll do a side bend towards our right foot. Stretching your left hand out towards your right foot. Really stretching the quadratus labor muscle on this side. And then come back up to sitting. Straighten your legs out. If you're sitting on a pillow or a towel or a prop, remove it and set it to the side. And we'll bring the soles of our feet together, sitting in cobbler's pose. Hold on to your ankles and use your elbows to press your knees down towards the floor as you're isometrically pulling your knees up into your elbows. This helps to relax the muscles in our legs. And then when we release our legs back down, they should go down a little bit farther. Then you can release your legs. And again, like I said, they should go a little bit closer to the ground. And as you're doing this, extend your torso and crown up towards the sky. And keeping your feet in the same position, you can come down onto your back. into a reclining cobbler's pose. Raise your hands overhead, stretching them up wide as far as you can. Then extend your feet out, stretching your feet and hands away from each other. And walk your legs over to the left a foot or so. And stack your right heel onto your left toes for the banana asana pose. And then walk your feet back through center over to the right a foot or so and stack your left heel on your right toes for banana asana on this side. And come back to center. Bring your heels up towards your tailbone. Your arms can come down to your side, palms down. And we'll do some bridge warm-ups. We'll inhale our tailbone up towards the sky. And exhale back to the floor. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up, and this time we'll hold. And you can work your shoulder blades in towards the center. Bring your hands underneath your body for the full bridge pose, pressing down into the floor, raising your tailbone up towards the sky as far as you can, and we'll hold. And raise your right foot up towards the sky. Bring your right foot back down. Raise your left foot up to the sky. And bring your foot back down to the floor. Release your hands and lower your tailbone back down to the floor. And hug your knees in towards your chest. Then cross your right ankle onto your left knee and pull your left knee in towards your chest for the figure 4 posture. And raise your left foot up towards the sky. Grab your calf, pull your nose up towards your ankle and knee, and wind around your top ankle. And remember to wind your ankle in both directions. Okay. And keeping your right ankle on your left knee, bring your left foot down to the floor. Arms out in T position. Let your foot and ankle drop over to the left for a twist. can look out over your right hand. And bring your ankle and knee back to center. Uncross them, and we'll cross the left ankle onto the right knee. Pull your right knee in towards your chest for figure 4 posture on this side. And extend your right foot up towards the sky. Grab your right calf and pull your nose up towards your ankle and knee and wind around your top ankle. And remember to widen your ankle in both directions. And keeping your ankle on your knee, bring your right foot to the floor, hands in T position again, and let your foot and ankle drop over to the right for a twist. And bring your foot and ankle back to center, uncross them. And let's see. Let's extend your feet out. And your hands overhead again. And we'll inhale our legs and our hands up together. If you have a hard time doing that, you can do one leg at a time. If you do one leg at a time, bring your opposite hand up to try to touch the toes. Or if you want to do the both legs, you can do the both legs together. Come up, touch your hands, and back down. And we'll do that, do 10 of them. And then when you're done doing your 10, you can pull your knees back into your chest, hug them in, and you can rock side to side a little bit, massaging your lower back. All right. Next, we'll roll over onto our bellies. Have your elbows directly underneath your hands or your shoulders. Your feet about mat width apart, and tops pressed down into the mat. Use your elbows to pull your chest forward as you raise your head up towards the sky for Sphinx pose. And from here, we'll transition to table position, coming up on our hands and knees. And we'll do the bird dog posture. Raise your right leg up towards the sky and your left arm. Really stretching your hand and foot away from each other. Then bring elbow to knee. And extend them out again. And bend your back knee, reach your left hand around, grab your ankle and kick into a crossbow. And release that. And we'll come back to table. And we'll do the opposite side. Raise your left leg and right arm up, stretching them out away from each other. And then we'll do elbow to knee again. And hold out. And bend your back knee, ankle, and kick into a crossbow. And then we'll release that, come back into table position. And then we did opposite arm and leg, so let's do the same arm and leg. We'll raise the left arm, left leg up. And rotate your body, open up to the side, hand up towards the sky. And from here you can reach back, grab your ankle, pull your ankle in towards your tailbone for a quad stretch. And kick your foot back for a side bow. And release that and come back down to the floor, and we'll do the opposite side. I'll spin around so I can be looking at you. Raise your right arm and right leg and open to the side, raising your right hand up towards the sky. And reach back, grab your ankle, pull your ankle in towards your tailbone for a quad stretch. And kick your foot back for a side bow. And release that and come back down to the floor. And spread your fingers wide, thumbs pointing towards each other. Tuck your toes under, and we'll push up into a downward facing dog. Raising your tailbone up towards the sky. Head drooping down loosely between your arms. Slowly bend one knee, then the other knee for walking the dog. Then extend both heels towards the floor. Raise your right foot up towards the sky for three-legged dog. Bend your knee, open your hip to the side. Then swing your right foot up towards your right hand. We'll come up into a warrior one posture. Take a minute to square your hips off to the front. Lift your chest up high. Raise your hands overhead. Slight arch in your back. Bring your hands behind your back in the Yoga Mudra and bow forward over your front leg for Humble Warrior. Raising your hands up towards the sky. And release your hands. Bring them to the floor inside your foot. And we'll transition back to a downward facing dog. Then raise your left foot up towards the sky for a three-legged dog. Bend your knee, open your hip to the side. And swing your left foot up towards your left hand. We'll come up into a warrior one posture on this side. Take a minute to square your hips off to the front. Raise your chest up towards the sky. Raise your hands up. Slight arch in your back. Bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers into Yoga Mudra. Raising your hands away from your body. Bow forward over your front leg for Humble Warrior. And let me fix my mic. It's not on. You hear me now? Okay. Oh, hopefully you can still hear me. Where was I? Where were you on in Yoga Mudra? Bring your hands down inside your foot. And we'll transition back to a downward facing dog. And bring your knees down to the floor. They can be a little bit wide. And sit back over your heels into a puppy stretch. And I'm going to see what's wrong with this mic. Lights on. Still nothing. Sorry about no sound. Let me see. Stay in puppy stretch. I don't know. Yeah, it seems to be on. All right, and we're in puppy stretch. Keep your right hand extended out in front and bring your left hand underneath your right arm for thread the needle, resting down onto your shoulder. And we'll change sides. Extend the right hand out and thread your left arm underneath your right arm or left armpit. So thread the needle on this side, resting down onto your shoulder. And bring your right hand up, and we'll come back up, and we'll transition back to downward facing dog. And walk your feet in towards your hands. We'll come into a forward fold. And round your knees, bend your knees, and round up to standing. Okay. Hopefully my head's not still cut off here. So, we'll stand in Tadasana. Feet are about hip width apart, parallel to each other. Shoulders up, back, and down. Head and neck extended up towards the sky. And we'll just take a moment to let all the sensations of our postures settle in. Roll one shoulder back, then the other one. And then we'll change directions, roll your shoulders forward. Okay, let's stand with the feet wide apart, as wide as you can. Bring your arms out into starfish. Your ankles should be directly underneath your wrist. That's how wide a stance you should be in. And we can bring our hands behind our back, interlace your fingers in the Yoga Mudra, lifting your hands away from your body. Bend your chin down towards your chest. And we'll make a U motion with our head, stretching out our neck muscles. And then bring your head back to center. And we'll do a wide-legged forward bend. We'll hinge at the hips, come down. Your head approaches the floor as your arms approach the ceiling. And let go of your hands. Bring them to the floor in front of you. Walk your hands over towards your left foot. Your left foot. Raise your left hand up towards the sky. Bring your left hand back to the floor. Walk your hands back through center over to your right foot. Your left hand stays on your right foot.
Raise your right hand up towards the sky. Bring your right hand back to the floor. Walk your hands back to center. Walk your feet in just a little bit. Toes can be pointed out a little bit. And we'll come into a squat.
Raise your hands up into cactus posture. Come into cactus arms. We'll come into goddess posture. Shift your weight from one side to the other side. And shift to one side and hold. And shift to the other side and hold. And back to center and squat down as deep as you can. Now we'll do like scooping the water. We'll scoop the water up with our hands. As we inhale, we're straightening our legs, bringing our hands up, and like we're dumping the water on our head. And we'll just keep doing that, squatting down, scooping the water, inhaling up, dumping it on our heads, exhaling down, and we'll just continue doing this, doing it slowly. And then that's the last time. Come up and bring your hands down to your sides. And you can walk your feet in. And next, we need to do a balance posture. Get something to drink. We'll do the eagle arms, or eagle balance. To do this, we'll bring our hands out wide, like we're giving the world a great big hug. Stretching them out wide. Then we'll bring our hands around, right over left, as you give yourself a great big hug. Your elbows should be lined up. Give yourself a really big hug. And raise your hands straight up towards the sky. Interlock your hands together into eagle arms. Then weight goes into your right foot. You want to ground your right foot down to the floor. Then wrap your left foot around your right leg. And slightly bend your knee. And we'll balance here in eagle posture. And don't forget to breathe. It helps when you're doing balance postures to pick a drishti or focal point to stare at. And then we'll release. Opening your arms, giving your world a big hug again. Stretching out wide. Take a couple breaths. Then we'll cross the arms again, left over right, giving yourself a big hug. Elbows are lined up. And just raise your hands up overhead. Interlock your hands into eagle arms. This time weight goes into your right or left foot. Ground your left foot to the floor. Slightly bend your knee and wrap your right leg around your left leg, coming into eagle posture. And then we'll release that. Give the world another big hug. Taking in a couple more breaths. Then we'll gather in all the love of the world and bring it to our hearts, crossing your arms over your heart, holding all the world's love into our heart. And then we'll offer our love to the whole world. All right. Time is flying. Let's come down onto our backs. Have a pillow handy. I was going to say have a strap, but I didn't get straps out. Come down onto your back. We'll do a supported half shoulder stand. You can do a regular half shoulder stand if you like. You don't need a prop for that. The supported half shoulder stand, you bend your knees, raise your hips up, and you can place a pillow or a folded towel or even a couple books if you want underneath your hips, between your hips and lower back. Your hands can come out to the side a little bit, palms up, and just raise your feet up towards the sky. If this is too much, you can have your knees go up or rest your legs up on your couch or chair. And we'll just stay here for a couple of minutes. This is a really relaxing posture. Allows the blood to flow out of our legs back into our body. Also, we can work the lymph nodes a little bit. Spread your legs wide into a wide V and hold for a couple breaths. And squeeze your legs back together again tightly. And spread them back out into a wide V. And bring your legs back together again tightly. What this does, spreading our legs out into a wide V, allows the lymph from our legs to flow into the lymph nodes in our groin area. And when we squeeze our legs together tightly like this, it helps to squeeze the lymph out of the lymph nodes and along its path. Okay, bring your feet back down to the floor carefully. If you're using a block, raise your hips and remove the block. Set the block to the side. And we'll do a flag pose twist. For this twist, I better move this out of the way. You roll over onto your right side. Your right arm is overhead. Top leg is slightly forward, bottom leg is slightly back. Raise your left hand up towards the sky. And just let your left hand drift back to the floor. It's a very passive stretch, so just let the gravity do all the work. And if you want, you can make some big circles with your left arm. I really don't have the room here to show you. I should have moved over. And then come back onto your back, and we'll roll over onto the left side. I'm going to spin around so I can be looking at you. Extend your left arm up overhead, top leg slightly forward, bottom leg slightly back. Let me move forward a little bit so I got some room. Raise your right hand up towards the sky and just let it drift back behind you. Again, this is a passive stretch, so just let gravity do all the work. Again, you can make big circles with your right arm. And then we can come out of that, come back around, laying onto your back. Again, I'm going to spin back around. And next we'll do a fish posture. For fish posture, you can come up and sit on your hands. Bring your elbows back close towards the center and come back down onto your elbows. And keep your chin on your chest. And just slowly slide back. All the weight is on your elbows. And once you get back, if your neck is all right, you can bring your head back down. Your head should be just barely above the floor, maybe a paper width off the floor. No weight is on your head. All the weight is into your elbows. And press into your elbows, come up, and lay back down onto your back. And we have a couple minutes here, so let's do a pranayama practice, a breathing practice. For this, we'll do a square breathing. Square breathing is done by inhaling for a certain amount of time. You can count to 4, 5, or 6, whichever best suits you. And you hold for that same amount of time. Exhale for the same amount of time. Hold for the same amount of time. Then inhale for the same amount of time. You just keep going around the circle, or the square, I mean. Each leg of the square is equal to each other. So we'll do a few rounds of that. So let's inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. And just continue at your own pace. And we can release that breathing practice. And we'll get ready for our Savasana relaxation posture. Relaxation posture, Savasana, or corpse pose, is laying on our backs. Our legs are slightly separated. Our arms are slightly away from our sides, palms up. Close your eyes. Let your breathing return to normal. Let your body melt into your mat. In these trying times, yoga can help us feel more centered, calm us down, and help us to think more clearly. So just relax. When thoughts try to enter your head, just let them go. Our relaxation postures, one of the easiest postures to do, but one of the hardest postures to master. Relaxation posture is also one of the most important postures of our practice. It allows our body to rejuvenate. We're only given one body. We need to treat it with compassion and love. A very wise man once said, "Love your neighbor as you love yourself." And I like to put a spin on that and say, to love your neighbor, you have to learn to love yourself. So practice self-love. and self-compassion. Start making some slight movements with your fingers and toes. Then rolling over onto your side into a fetal type position. And then pushing up into a seated position. And bring your hands to prayer position, thumbs pointing towards heart center. In gratitude for our practice and in honor of each and every one of us, we'll say namaste together. Breath in, namaste. And I'd like to thank everybody for viewing this video. Stay safe and stay healthy.